Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 67 of the In From Japan podcast, the podcast where we talk about the latest news on Japan-developed games and other things in relation to them. Available on YouTube and in most places podcasts can be found. As always, I'm your host, Erroll Moss, with my co-host, the phenomenon from Suriname, Jason Corder.
Hey.
And we don't really have any housekeeping this week. I planned on making some stuff, but probably won't be out until next week.
Okay.
So next week we'll have a little bit of housekeeping for you. But since we don't have any this week, we're just gonna get right into the Japanese games we've been playing. So I've been playing a bit of Nier Replicant. I have not gotten to the first ending yet. It takes a little longer than I thought. Plus, I was making sure I had all the weapons from the first act, because you need to collect all the weapons to get the true ending. So I think I'm around the end of the first act.
Okay. And how are you liking it so far?
I have a love-hate relationship with it.
Why is that?
So I like the combat, but then there will be this thing like a puzzle or something that just kind of annoys me, or just something I have to do, like a kind of boring fetch quest. Or there was one. It was kind of interesting. There's this one part where you have to talk to these villagers and snap them out of their dreams, but their dreams are all presented to you in text. So you're just reading, and you have to provide like the right answer for certain things.
Okay.
And I'm like, it's interesting that it did it this way, but I'm also like, this kind of takes me out of it because it's so different from the rest of the game. And there was also this thing in a temple where it was like you had to follow certain rules to get to the other side of a room, and there was one that was like, don't walk, don't jump, and don't evade. But it didn't say don't get hit. But if you get hit, you have to start over. But that wasn't on one of the rules, so that I found that a little annoying. Although I figured out a way to get past it. Again, I'm not that far into it. I'm enjoying it otherwise. Like the combat I like. It's nice and fluid, I guess. Again,
guess.
I mean, it's not. It's just because it's not. It doesn't feel super complex to me.
I mean, it either is fluid or isn't. So which one is it?
No, I know it's fluid enough, but yeah, it's like it feels fine. It's a little weird that you can the way that you can either equipping like spells and all that. You can either just have two spells and then have your evade and your block, or you could take away your evade and or your block and replace those with spells, depending on like which moves you use more. So I find that kind of interesting that you're limited to 4 things, but you can mix and match different things a little bit.
Yeah. You said last week you didn't play Automata yet, right?
No,
okay.
Barely. I got to when I played Automata. I think I got as far as fighting Adam.
Okay, that's kind of early in the game.
Yeah, that's real early.
The thing is, when you equip chips, because you're an android, you can equip chips to like modify your stats or have extra attacks or
I remember that
other stuff. So depending on the size of, let's say, your motherboard, that will dictate how many chips you can equip. So it's kind of similar to that, I guess.
I don't know what would increase the amount of things you can equip, or if that can be increased right now.
I mean, it does,
but it's not a huge deal to me. I have. It's funny that you mentioned Nier Automata, because the thing I have, you know how in Nier Automata you have your little pod and it shoots, like one of the buttons is for it to shoot. Like the book, the Grimoire Vice kind of acts the same way with the Dark Blast attack.
Okay.
Because it like floats the same way, and then it's very similar. And that's one of the attacks I keep because it's a very useful long range attack. But yeah, I'm not that far in it. I like it for the most part. It can get a little boring, but then it'll do something I don't like, but then like right after that it'll do something I actually enjoy. Like after those rooms, there was like this boss that was all made entirely of cubes, and you had to shoot like specific cubes to like break him down. That was pretty cool.
Okay, so it seems like it's challenging enough for you.
Yeah.
And,
I just kind of don't like the whole multiple endings thing, where it's like, oh, you have to make sure you do this and this and this to get this to get all the endings, and I'm like, this is not a visual novel.
Well, Automata is if you had played that one, I think that would have prepared you enough for this. But
yeah,
having done a bit of research on the Drakengard series, which this is a spin-off of, multiple endings has always been a part of the series DNA. So I don't think there was any way to go around it.
I don't mind it because it doesn't seem too hard, and our friend Michael Higham wrote a pretty handy guide for it. It's just one of those things that I find a little inconvenient.
Inconvenient in what sense?
Just that you have to make sure you don't miss certain things to get specific endings.
Yeah, I mean,
it seems like
it is kind of an older game at this point, so probably
that too.
The design of it wasn't as thoughtful with players their time as Automata is, kind of, because if Automata, well, I don't want to spoil too much, but there are also multiple endings. It doesn't feel as if...
Well, I know there are multiple... Yeah, that's not spoiling.
I mean, some people...
I don't know. Saying there are multiple endings in the Yoko Taro game, I don't think is a spoiler at this point. I mean,
some people might not be aware of who Yoko Taro is and what his games might entail.
True, but I think a game having... saying that a game has multiple endings shouldn't really be a spoiler.
I mean, it could just pace the person who has yet to play it.
Yeah.
For what is to come, because let's say the first ending or the main ending to Automata isn't all that satisfying to me, so it kind of is good to have that knowledge going in that there will be multiple endings. And kind of a pro tip for anyone who's interested in the Drakengard lore, maybe don't go look it up, because there are some themes and elements that are not for the faint of heart. I'll just leave it at that. If you were one of the lucky or unlucky ones to watch the anime Mushoku Tensei, then you can probably guess where I'm going with this topic. So at your own risk, I'll say that.
No clue.
It's better if you don't know, trust me.
All right. I also went back to Monster Hunter Rise because of the update. Oh, I didn't even say that in housekeeping. We have the reacts up to the Monster Hunter Rise and Monster Hunter Stories 2 digital event from a couple days ago.
Yeah, I saw it.
So go check that out. But anyway, I went back to Monster Hunter Rise, and it made me realize I needed better armor. Because I went to go fight a Barrett, I got wrecked, or a high rank Barrett. I went to go fight a high rank Barrett, I got wrecked, and I was like, you know what? I only have one piece of high rank armor. I should, just get full high rank. And so I just got not really grinded, because it only took like one or two quests, but or no, did it only take one? Because I just got the high rank Izuchi armor, and that helped a lot. And then I took care of the high rank Barrett and the high rank Basarios, and now I only have 2 key quests left for that rank. Hunts unfortunately take a while because Gathering Hub is multiplayer, and I don't have that many friends playing right now. because of other games and such. But it's still fun.
And you're not willing to open it up to like randoms?
I probably will at some point, but I don't usually do that until I'm having like a lot of difficulty.
Okay. Because I used to do that when I was playing Monster Hunter World. Like, I didn't have any.
Yeah, that's what I did with World 2.
I didn't have anyone at the time who was also playing World, so I just like, okay, I guess this is the online functionality. I'll just turn it on and see what happens, and I guess it was fine.
Yeah, usually for me it was fine too.
Yeah, and I kind of never really notice anyone else is helping me. I mean, just that fights are ending a lot quicker than I'm used to, but besides that, it's just like business as usual.
Yeah. But otherwise, I'm just gonna probably do my weekly morning, or not weekly, my daily morning monster hunts for a little while.
Okay.
Till I either have more difficulty with stuff or get to a point where I get tired of it and drop it for a little while.
So you're one of the people who doesn't mind the constant grind for gear.
You think the grind in Rise it's baffling to me that you think that Rise is a big grind, because Monster Hunter before that was Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate
I just mean
a lot longer.
in the sense that the gameplay loop is hunt monsters, craft gear, hunt monsters again. It is a grind. It's
You don't have to craft gear every time.
No, I know you don't have to, but that's kind of the whole conceit of the game.
Because if you do it that way, you're gonna get burnt out fast.
No, I get that, but
craft armor when you need to.
No, I get that, but I mean, the whole conceit of it, the whole loop of it, it's surprising to me that a lot of people like it. But then again, there are also a lot of people that play other live service games. So, I mean, it shouldn't surprise me then.
Yeah. I don't think I have anything else to say about Rise, because that's really all I did in it.
What about the stuff that was announced during the digital event?
I'm not far enough to do any of that yet.
But are you
I mean, I could change my character's appearance.
But are you happy with what was announced?
I'm very happy that we will be able to hunt Apex monsters in a normal way, even though you probably... I'm guessing we have to do the Rampage quest first to unlock the ability to hunt them normally. Okay. Which I already told you, I do not like the Rampage quest. So
yeah, I also don't like the Rampage missions. They kind of feel tedious to me and chaotic.
Yeah.
Like, you never know what to focus on unless you have people joining you on those missions, then it might. And
the thing is, even when we have people joining you, you really got to manage your stuff, because you share...
resources?
How many weapons? Yeah, you share resources.
I mean, you could feasibly have like one person on the ground fighting monsters and two others manning the stationary weapons, I guess.
You don't. Most of the time, you don't want to go on the ground to do that. Especially because they'll knock you. They'll knock you off a lot.
Mean,
if
you're not careful, not sure.
Yeah. But yeah, that's really all I've been playing, because I don't know. I've just been taking my time with Nier, but also like I've been trying to get through it, but at the same time taking my time just because, you know, I don't want to miss anything.
Well, it also feels like
so it takes a little longer.
It also feels like you're kind of bracing yourself for another game. Is that maybe the reason why you're kind of going through the motion?
I mean, new Pokemon Snap will be out by the time this podcast is, but that's going to be a short game. Okay. So that's going to be nice.
Okay.
We're going to have content on that hopefully next week.
All right.
I still don't know what to call that thing I'm planning.
Pika Pictures?
No, I wanted to refer to the fact that the person I'm trying to do it with has never played Pokemon before.
Okay.
And that's where the difficulty came in with the name.
Okay. I guess we'll come up with something soon enough.
Yeah. All right, so it looks like you've also been playing Monster Hunter Rise, which we talked about a little bit. Do you have more to say about that?
Well, I rolled credits, fought Magnamalo, and I kind of came to the realization that, oh, this is it. Like, I mean, I knew what Monster Hunter was before, but I kind of, it just struck me that, okay, high rank or like 5 star, 6 stars, high rank, the missions will amount to the same thing, kind of. And I'm like, do I want to keep spending time with this, or do I want to do something else? And I kind of settled on, for the most part, letting Monster Hunter Rise be on the back burner while I play other stuff. But
that's fair.
I mean, I could just pop in for a quick hunt of like 20-30 minutes and have my fill.
Yeah, that's what I like doing sometimes too. It just depends on
and
what other games are out and stuff.
The thing that kind of struck me is that the design of the missions are kind of archaic, in that you have specific sets of mission designed for yourself, like single player stuff, and then you have the same missions but for multiplayer, or if you're brave enough to tackle it by yourself.
Well, plus multiplayer has also more
that's true
quests that you can't get in single player.
But the thing is, I wonder why they didn't like have an option for missions to have either solo versions or multiple multiplayer versions, kind of like what Destiny or Warframe is doing. Like,
because like World didn't do that either, right?
Yeah, so like,
or did it?
No, it's kind of, you can toggle it on and off, like if you want to have multiplayer or not. And I'm just thinking, is it maybe because the Switch is kind of not that good at segmenting?
Yeah, maybe
their networking stuff. So that's what the only thing I kind of felt that was odd. But yeah, I'm kind of done with Monster Hunter Rise.
Because back in the like 3DS games, you didn't like, even in World, it was a thing where you weren't, if you were in the same game, you weren't in the same instance when you got back to the village. This is like the first one that does that.
Yeah, I mean,
so I was pleasantly surprised with that.
It's a good step forward. And in other games I've been playing, Monster Hunter Stories as well, because it was $5 on Google Play.
Is it still $5 right now?
Let me check for you.
Because I got it too.
Let's see, where is it? Monster Hunter Stories.
I'm gonna stream it at some point.
Yeah, it doesn't say, but I'm guessing it's still $5.
Hopefully.
Yeah. It just says installed, so I can't really check for you.
Yeah, I was looking at that. Yeah.
So,
well, it's $5 on both stores.
Yeah, iOS and Android.
Google Play and iOS. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really pretty game. It is from the 3DS, ported over to a mobile platform. So brace yourself and don't expect like anything too modern. It's colorful.
I mean, it looks better than the 3DS version.
Higher resolution for sure.
Yeah,
but it's still kind of on that scale. So don't go thinking it's a remake, making use of kind of modern tools. Don't go thinking it's stories too. Yeah, for example, I mean it's bright, it's colorful. The combat is fun enough. It's rock paper scissors style turn-based combat. So if you're familiar with Pokemon or Final Fantasy, then you'll be right at home.
If you know your Monster Hunter weaknesses, you know your Monster Hunter Stories weaknesses.
The only thing that kind of bothers me is that you're only limited to like 2 player parties, if I can say it like that. Like you have your monster.
It's not 2 player.
You have your Monstie and yourself.
No, you have in battle, but you can have up to 6 monsters.
No, I know. But in battle, that's what I mean. Like it's just 2 of you, and then the enemy party can have like up to 3 or 4. I'm not so certain. It kind of feels unbalanced, but the battles are never too hard that you're struggling.
Yeah.
So in that respect,
well, the battles don't get hard until the post game.
Yeah. So it's not that unfair, I should say. The missions are fine. It's just your standard fight this, gather this, and go hatch some eggs. So it's fun enough.
Go steal the eggs and then go hatch them.
I mean, it's probably better than murdering monsters for a cool helmet or some boots. It's fun enough. It's cute in the storytelling, and I'm surprised that the opening story gets so dark so quickly. Like, okay, I thought this was a kids game. I was wrong. Well, it's still a kids game. Yeah, it's just that the sudden shift in tone was surprising.
Yeah,
or that the tone got grim enough is surprising. I'd say if you're familiar with How to Train Your Dragon, the movies, then you're probably prepared enough for the swift shift in tone,
especially the later ones.
Yeah. So it's fun enough. The only downside I feel is that when you're riding your monster, the controls can get a bit wonky.
I mean, it is a mobile game, so that makes sense.
Sure, but it's a mobile game designed for an analog, I want to say. So
yeah,
it's kind of like, okay, but this is kind of frustrating, but I can manage. And the game kind of runs hot. And is a battery hog, so prepare yourself if you're going to be playing this.
You can play it on I think you can play it on a tablet.
You can, but it's still going to hog some resources. So be prepared. But yeah, that's.
I'm probably gonna try streaming it before the sequel comes out.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm glad you're liking that. Got 2 people to buy Monster Hunter the original Monster Hunter story.
Well, I was always going to buy it at some point, but I never had a phone strong enough to run it, I guess. And it's when it's not on sale, the price is $20, I think. Yeah. It's not too steep.
Which it's worth. That's the normal 3DS price.
Yeah, it's not too steep. But when you can get it on when you can get it for $5, why not? So I'm enjoying my time so far.
All right. Next, we're going to move on to the In From Japan J list, where we talk about recent video game related entertainment news. First is Hollywood Reporter: Demon Slayer earns biggest U.S. opening ever for a foreign language film. This is from Anime News Network and is by Rafael Antonio Pineda. Entertainment news source The Hollywood Reporter posted on Sunday that the Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, the movie Mugen Train, the mouthful, anime's U.S. $19,542,227 estimated opening weekend gross in the United States is the highest opening weekend earnings ever for a foreign language film in the United States.
Wow.
Funimation and Aniplex of America screened the film in Japanese with English subtitles as well as with an English dub.
Yeah, I saw it yesterday. It's a really cool movie.
Wait, how did you see it?
I have ways. I have my.
Did you get it from the PS4? Because it leaked there.
Let's say something like that. Because I got that notification too. Like it's on the PlayStation Video Store, so you can get it there.
Yeah.
But then it was removed, if I'm not mistaken.
Was it? I never looked at an update. I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, Mike Williams, previously from US Gamer, and I think now PC Gamer.
PC, yeah.
He mentioned that it was removed from the store, but
we need to get him on sometime.
But he managed to watch it before they removed it, and then they refunded him his money. So he essentially got to see it.
They actually refunded.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah. But back to the movie. It's a really cool movie. But I urge you to watch the first season first, because otherwise you'd be lost in the plot.
Yeah, this is an actual arc of the manga. It's not an anime spin-off movie that isn't canon or anything like that.
The production team said that the material for this arc of the story was too little to be adapted into a straight season. but it's long enough to fit as a movie. So yeah, there's your.
It's interesting that they did that because, like, a lot of anime series stretch stuff out because of episode runtime.
Yeah, I think
like One Piece is known for having a lot of pacing issues in the anime.
Yeah, but that's because there are so many chapters that if the anime catches up to the manga,
they have to do filler.
They have to do filler. So they do
more filler.
They do recaps at the beginning. They have extra long openings and endings, so they can stretch that runtime as much as possible. And then they slow down the pacing so that they can fill runtime even more.
So the previous foreign language film with the biggest U.S. opening weekend was Zhang Yimou's Hero, which opened with English subtitles in the United States with 17.8 million in 2004. Is it the Jet Li movie? Hero?
Wait, let me see. I
don't know.
Where is it? Not Mortal Kombat. That's something else. Is Zhang Yimou Hero? Yeah, I think it's a Jet Li movie.
Was Jet Li just that big back then?
Yeah, man. I mean,
I need to watch more of this.
He's still big.
Yeah,
that's kind of his height of his star power. It's a really great movie too.
Yeah. Pokemon, the first movie, earned 31 million and it's over 31 million in its 1999 opening with an English dub in the United States. Box Office Mojo also reports that Pokemon 2000, the movie, earned over 19 million, meaning that Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, the movie Mugen Train, has the third ever highest opening in the US for an anime film. Digimon was actually, I was reading somewhere else that the Digimon movie actually had a pretty high opening too.
Yeah, I mean, it was at the height of Digital Monster Mania.
And I saw it in theaters.
I'm also including Pokemon in that, so...
Mon Game Mania?
Yeah, Mon Game Mania. So, yeah.
So my time?
Your time.
The time that raised me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting to see how, like, that's how popular Demon Slayer is, especially when you see like other things ending or kind of on hiatus, stuff like Attack on Titan ending and people having mixed feelings about that, and
like
then
and
then Dragon Ball Super not really being anything right now.
The manga for
manga
for Demon Slayer skyrocketed so much that it even dethroned One Piece for a little bit. So that's enough of an indication to tell you how big this series has become.
All right, next story. Godzilla vs. Kong director Adam Wingard in talks to return for new Legendary Monsterverse movie. This is by Angelique Jackson for Variety. After the massively successful debut of Godzilla vs. Kong, the film's director, Adam Wingard, is in talks for a new movie in Legendary's Monsterverse franchise. Since its launch in theaters on March 31st, Godzilla vs. Kong has topped $400 million at the box office, marking the highest grossing release of the pandemic era. The film debuted simultaneously on HBO Max as part of Warner Bros. Multi-platform release strategy for the studio's 2021 slate. There are no details regarding when the movie would begin production, especially given that Wingard has a pretty full plate at the moment with a live-action Thundercats feature in the works for Warner Bros. And a Face-Off sequel at Paramount upcoming. Yeah, so that's cool. They're continuing the Monsterverse. I'm shocked that a kaiju movie is the highest grossing movie of the pandemic. Uh-oh. Oops. Sorry. I didn't pause it, but my internet disconnected for some reason.
Oh, okay.
But it's back now.
That's good.
I was saying, are you still recording? I'm still recording.
Yeah, I'm still recording.
Okay. So we don't have to start over. Technical issues. Sorry, audience. Anyways, what I was saying was I'm shocked that a kaiju movie is the highest grossing movie of the pandemic. I'm happy,
I mean,
pleasantly surprised. But
Mortal Kombat is steadily gaining some ground, so
yeah, and I'm gonna be sad if that outperforms it. 'Cause that movie was that movie looked like, I mean, that movie, after seeing it, that was more like mediocre combat to me.
it's something. Maybe we should do a review of that movie, but
You really didn't like it.
no, because it's not even. They didn't even fulfill
The people.
Mm-hmm.
So the people who were like, I don't understand the people on like, you know, our mutuals who were like, oh my god, it was so good, and I'm just like, it was okay.
Like,
and then you're just like, that was terrible. It's really funny.
If you compare it to the last 3 games in terms of storytelling, it's really falling short. If you compare it to like the original trilogy and up till, I want to say, Deadly Alliance, then you kind of get to see where people are coming from, where it just scratches that nostalgic itch for them.
Yeah.
And for me,
if you compare it to Annihilation,
yeah, definitely,
it's a lot better.
if you compare it to the original movie, it pales in comparison, because at least that one's fun. And it has...
See, it seems like a lot of people are disagreeing on that, on whether it's better or worse than the 1995 one. I need to see that one again.
I say it's better because at least it's fun. This one was not fun. This one was...
It took itself too seriously at times.
Josh Lawson's Kano was the only one that understood the assignment.
He was great.
Because
he was amazing.
His Kano is pitch perfect. But the whole movie around him does not get what the movie is supposed to be. I want to say carefully. It's also
Kung Lao got done dirty, and Liu Kang should have been in it.
Everyone got done dirty, like.
Except Kano.
Except Kano, yes, except Kano. I mean, he should have been in a better movie. I'm sorry, because everyone that worked on this movie is so proud of it, and they should be proud of their hard work. I don't want to take...
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't want to take that away from them.
So it seems like at least they had fun.
Yeah. Louis Tan, who is an Asian man, got to star in one of Hollywood's biggest movies, and no one should take that away from him. And it's a predominantly Asian Australian cast, and like that's something to be celebrating, and that's something to be celebrated. And I can't take that away from them. But if I view it with a critical eye, the movie fails on multiple fronts, from the pacing to the plot to the editing to the music to the fight choreography. I feel like we shouldn't have to settle for just good enough. I think we can.
Well, have you seen the animated Scorpion's Revenge?
No, not yet.
Yeah, I need to. I think it's on HBO Max.
Okay.
So I'm hoping more people watch it.
But if you have played the most recent games, like 10 and 11, or even
11 especially,
going as far as 9, I think that's the bar they have to achieve in terms of storytelling, in terms of pacing, in terms of action. That's the bar. Anything below that, I just feel like we're just settling for nostalgia, and I just can't do that.
I'm gonna take that last story out of it.
If you can, that's more power to you. I'm not saying you shouldn't enjoy stuff, but you shouldn't shy away from criticism.
Was that the last of HBO Max's, like... No, they still have more, right?
They still have more.
That was the last one I remember.
I think The Matrix 4 is the last big one.
Oh, is that coming out that soon?
If I'm not mistaken, this year.
I thought it wasn't coming out for a while.
Let me see. Doing a quick check. And it counts because it's inspired by a lot of Japanese media. So, take that. If all goes well, it comes out December 16, 2021.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, and the last story on the J list is Sailor Moon Eternal. The movie is coming to Netflix in June. This is by Stephanie Liu for Siliconera. Kodansha Manga announced that Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon Eternal, the movie, will appear on Netflix on June 3rd, 2021. Hey, the day after my birthday. The tweet included a link to a trailer for the movie posted on Netflix's Anime's YouTube channel. Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon Eternal, the movie, is a 2-part film that is based on the Dream arc, also known as the Dead Moon arc of Sailor Moon. At over a minute long, the teaser gives a good idea of the movie's animation. It shows off the girl's special attacks and transformation sequences. Befitting its worldwide release on Netflix, the teaser also starts off with Sailor Moon saying her signature catchphrase. Alright. Chiaki Kon is the director for Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon Eternal, the movie. She also directed The Way of the House Husband. Oh.
I mean...
Well, we'll see how that turns out. Well, the problem with The Way of the House Husband that people have is the animation, not necessarily
It's pretty much a motion comic, which is hilarious in its own right. But the jokes still land. The timing is still good, so you can watch it and kind of set your expectations.
Do you remember in, like, what was it, like 2009, 2010 around, where, like, they were making a bunch of weird motion comic things? Like, there was that X-Men one, and there was the Black Panther one was only like half motion comic because it was a little more animated than the other ones, and it wasn't that bad. I really liked it.
I think it's because the style by John Romita Jr., who was the artist for that run of Black Panther, is so well adapted to animation and motion storytelling. I think they did that big push because they kind of wanted to springboard off of the superhero comic book movie boom, and kind of want to guide people gently towards comic books, because despite this great success of, say, the MCU, not a whole lot more people are buying comics. So that's very unfortunate.
Yeah. All right, so moving on to recommended content other than news from the past week listed out, links to the description. We have Nier Replicant Guide, How to Unlock all the Endings, spoiler free, by our senpai Michael Higham over at GameSpot. Neo, The World Ends With You, looks to the past to change the future, by Natalie Flores over at Fanbyte. Lost Soul Aside, 18 minutes of gameplay, Gematsu via YouTube. Our friend of the show, Cameron Hawkins, was actually on a Kind of Funny Games Daily briefly the other day to talk about Lost Soul Aside. So that was cool.
Yeah.
Yasuke creator LaSean Thomas on why his anime isn't Afro Samurai 2.0 by, I don't know how to pronounce this name.
Toussaint Egan.
Toussaint Egan. For Polygon. And Yasuke is out on Netflix right now.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to watching that. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. Devs talk Yuffie Kisaragi. Square Enix blog by Duncan Heaney for Square Enix, obviously. Samurai Warriors 5, 22 minutes of gameplay by Gematsu via Dengeki Online and Famitsu. And you can also play as Yasuke in Samurai Warriors 5.
Yep. He also makes...
Next time...
Oh, no. That's good. I kind of misremembered something. It's fine. Keep going.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Next time for the news rundown. And I would let the bearer of bad news take it away, but we don't have any bad news this week.
Shikai. No Bankai today.
Shikai?
Shikai is first release. Bankai is final release.
Oh, okay. I haven't watched enough Bleach. Alright, first story is Ryuga Gotoku Studio teases May 2021 Judgment Day stream. This is by Kite Stenbuck for Silicon Era. Sega and Ryuga Gotoku Studio have published a teaser web page for a Judgment Day stream. The page is available in multiple languages, including English. The company and the studio will broadcast the stream on YouTube simultaneously worldwide on May 7th, 2021 at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. The Japanese press release confirmed that the Judgment Day stream will deliver new information related to the Judgment video game. This stream teaser also comes out on the same day the PS4 title receives new ports for the PS5, Xbox Series X, and Stadia. And then we had Judgment Twitter account shares possible sequel footage. So, this is by Saruman for Gematsu. The official Japanese Twitter account for Yakuza spin-off Judgment has shared several clips that appear to be from the sequel previously teased for a May 7th reveal. The Twitter account mostly tweets clips from the remastered version of Judgment released for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and Stadia on April 23rd, but recently shared a number of clips that show protagonist Takayuki Yagami fighting enemies in a newer setting. And I saw on Twitter that Imran Khan of Fanbyte, he said that he was noticing that the setting looks like Yokohama.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we'll get some Yakuza Like a Dragon cameos in Judgment 2. Or maybe Judgment 2 will be a turn-based RPG.
I hope not. Cause
I sure hope so. Oh.
No.
Well,
the reason
I guess we have to fight now.
The reason I don't hope so is because I feel like them having split the series in straight action combat and straight RPG, like the main series being RPG and then Judgment being straight action combat, works well enough so that people kind of have their pick of the litter, if you want to say it like that.
Yeah,
like
that makes sense.
If you don't want the modern combat, you can stick with Judgment. If you want the modern combat, then Ichiban and crew have you covered.
They said they might not go back to Yakuza, but after how well Yakuza 7 did, I think they're going back to that style of gameplay.
Yeah, it's probable.
And I'm sure this was well in development before.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm excited to see more about that. Hopefully, I'm hoping Judgment comes on Game Pass at some point too. I would not be surprised.
I wouldn't either with all these teases. So maybe around the time that the full reveal is online, maybe that's when you also hear also on Game Pass.
Yeah. Next story is new Nintendo Switch Crayon Shin-Chan game release date announced. This is by Stephanie Liu for Silicon Arrow once again. Ready your camera and prepare your bug catching net because Nintendo has announced a release date for the upcoming Nintendo Switch game Crayon Shin-Chan Ora to Hakase no Natsu Yasumi Owaranai Nano Kakan no Tabi. Oh. Can we get a translation?
Something about summer. That's all I got.
The game will come out on... Well, that makes sense with the bug catching. The game will come out on July 15th, 2021 in Japan. There has been no announcement about a worldwide release yet, and I doubt it will get one. The trailer that came out during the Nintendo Direct from earlier this year shows off how the game will play. It also demonstrates how Crayon Shin-Chan will fuse the mundane with the surreal. The evil professor's mysterious dinosaur stomping its way through Kyushu does not exactly make for a normal summer vacation game.
You think?
Have you seen the stuff for this game?
Yeah, it's looking really lovely.
Visually, it looks gorgeous.
Yeah, I think it's still possible that it will get a Western release, especially with Nintendo Treehouse having adapted Animal Crossing so well to other
it would be a
markets.
little weird given that outside of Japan, Shin-Chan is a much more adult show and way different and only had those 2 seasons. While in Japan, I believe it's still going.
Yeah, getting
the
more,
Japanese version of Shin, and there's no official English subtitle version either.
I think it's more of the content of the gags and the puns that it makes it skew more towards adult themed. But I see no reason why you can't show it to a child. But I might be wrong. I haven't seen the anime in a really long time.
Oh, the English dub is not.
I think I watched the Dutch dub when I wasn't on vacation in the Netherlands. So
the English dub is very adult, and that's why they had it on Adult Swim.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't think it will be localized, but they did localize that Doraemon Story of Seasons game.
So anything's possible. So, the only thing is
who knows?
The puns and the jokes and the gags are very Japan centric. So having to localize that might be a tough sell.
Then again, people thought the same thing, and why that would be that the first Yokai Watch would never be localized.
Yeah. But
lo and behold, we still got that.
But I mean, you can also argue that they butchered a lot of that. So
depending on what thing you're talking about, yeah.
And these days, with the online climate of fan media from Japan, you kind of want to steer clear from changing too much.
Well, there's this whole I see this whole debate about like people saying like, oh, these people didn't localize it right. It's like, no, it's not that they didn't localize it right. It's that like a literal translation would just not sound good.
Yeah, there's that. I mean, there's
a lot of nuance to it. We need to get a localizer and a translator for our interview series. I know a few.
Okay, that'd be cool.
Next story. Speaking of games that don't usually get translated, Super Robot Wars Hagane no Cho Kanshasai 2021, set for July 11th, celebrating the series' 30th anniversary. This is by Saruman for Gematsu. Bandai Namco will host the free online event Super Robot Wars Hagane no Cho Kanshasai 2021 on July 11th in celebration of the series' 30th anniversary, the company announced. Further details will be announced at a later date. I just thought that was interesting because Super Robot Wars is like a big series in Japan.
Yeah.
And I think we only got one of them.
Kat Bailey from Axe of the Blood God and now IGN is a huge fan of the Super Robot Wars series, so I hope for her sake it comes to the West.
Can she read Japanese?
She worked and studied in Japan for a bit, if I'm not mistaken. So,
all right. So she has some understanding of it at least.
I mean, she imports the Japanese releases, so I think she'll be fine.
I import a couple of Japanese releases. Doesn't mean I can read it.
No, but in her case, I think she'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, we have Capcom Arcade Stadium for PS4, Xbox One, and PC launches May 25th. This is by Sal Romano for Gematsu. The PS4, Xbox One, and PC Steam versions of our Capcom Arcade Stadium will launch on May 25th, Capcom announced. Users who purchased the game before June 8th will receive the newly announced Display Frame Set number 1 for free. It will cost 99 cents US dollars after. Capcom also announced that Capcom Arcade Stadium will expand to include more arcade classics in the future. More information regarding specific titles and release timing will be revealed at a later date. If you want more info, please click on the article.
Isn't there also something with you can pay $1 to get an invincibility cheat?
I didn't read that far ahead, but it would not surprise me.
I saw something floating around and people were... I don't know if people were really getting mad about it. It's $1. and it's not like that big of a deal.
Yeah,
I just saw people talking about it a little bit. Next is Dragon Quest Builders 2 coming to Xbox One on May 4th. Also available via Xbox Game Pass for console, cloud, and PC. This is once again by Sal Romano for Gematsu. Square Enix will release Dragon Quest Builders 2 for Xbox One on May 4th for $49.99, the company announced. It will also be available via Xbox Game Pass for console, cloud, and PC. And I am excited, and people should play that. Oh, that reminds me. You didn't... Yeah. I saw you got your Xbox.
It arrived in the country, so I'll be getting it tomorrow afternoon.
Oh.
Yeah, and
you had that picture on Twitter, so I thought you got it already.
No. It's here, but not here. But yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Dragon Quest Builders 2.
Post office.
Yeah, Dragon Quest Builders 2 is something I was looking forward to. And now that it's on Game Pass, I have an excuse to play it. Because my brother...
Maybe you can figure out why I got stuck.
Well, my brother is looking forward to be playing the Gears of War series, but in the meantime, I think I'll be downloading this first. Next up,
it's a great game when you know what you're doing.
Yeah, I think I prefer this over Minecraft because there's actually a goal here.
Yeah, I agree. I mean... I saw our friend Ian play Minecraft, and it looked pretty fun, but just just getting to that point, I'm sure it takes a while.
Yeah, I need a goal. I can't do anything by myself. I'm not that creative. If you tell me to write something like a story or a poem or a screenplay, I'll be fine with just my imagination. But Minecraft, nah. I freeze up. I just get choice paralysis. Next up, we have Sega allows Japanese users to monetize videos on YouTube and Twitch. This is by Kite Stenbuck for Silicon Era. Sega published a new streaming guideline in Japan. It allows Japanese individual users to monetize videos and streams from Sega-owned games through official monetization features on websites like YouTube and Twitch. Shout out to Gamer. The first 2 points in the guidelines generally only allow the public to publish videos on non-profit websites and social media accounts. However, Sega made an exception to allow monetization through partner features officially provided by video and streaming websites such as Twitch and YouTube. So this is a nice step forward. It's not like a complete overhaul of what it should be, but at least people are allowed to play the games on stream. I know Sega was particularly restrictive when it came to Yakuza 7 and the Persona games because they were wary of spoilers, but it seems like they've become a bit more lax with the guidelines, so we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, I thought that was notable because I didn't know that wasn't allowed yet.
Some companies can be very tricky when it comes to streaming intellectual property. Like Nintendo kind of is notorious for that, striking down people with DMCAs willy-nilly, it seems. So it's good that more companies are like, okay, you know what? You're helping us creating more awareness for our game, so we'll let you do this thing on the side, but it could be better. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah. Alright, next story is Earth Defense Force 2 Invaders from Planet Space and Earth Defense Force 2017 coming to Switch. Both are ports with similar specifications to the PS Vita versions. This is by Saruman for Gematsu once again. D3 publisher and developer Sandlot will release Earth Defense Force 2 Invaders from Planet Space for Switch on July 15th in Japan for 3,980 yen, followed by Earth Defense Force 2017 for Switch this fall, the company announced in the latest issue of Weekly Famitsu. Both games are ports with similar specifications to the previously released PS Vita versions. According to D3 publisher, producer Nobuyuki Okajima, the company wanted to begin porting from the original Simple 2000 series, Volume 31, the Earth Defense Force, but gave up because it was too technically difficult. And then there's a first look and some pictures. EDF 2017 is also available through Xbox backwards compatibility, as well as EDF 2025. And then I was playing a little bit of EDF 4.1 with friends because it's on the Golden Week sale. It's fun. We only did 2 missions, so we're not really far into it yet. I like Iron Rain the best so far, though.
Okay, so now that I have an Xbox, would you recommend I play EDF, or is it something that's too niche for most people?
Iron Rain. Iron Rain you might want to look into.
Okay.
Because Iron Rain is a bit different than the other ones. Speaking of which, Earth Defense Force 6 debut trailer, platform still unconfirmed. D3 publisher and developer Sandlot have released the debut trailer for Earth Defense Force 6, which is due out for unannounced platforms in late 2021 in Japan. And I'm sure it'll be localized. You fight giant frogs, apparently, in this one?
I mean, they probably...
In addition to the usual insects, you fight dragons and giant alien frogs with guns.
I think they probably figured, you know what? Insects are getting stale. Might throw something new in the mix.
Well, they always had more than just insects. They have insects, they have UFOs, they have kaiju, they have...
Well, there you go.
Mechs. Weird mutant mechs.
Okay. Next up.
And, also, one more EDF thing. EDF World Brothers comes out on May 27th.
Man.
It's a little bit more family-friendly, voxel art style that I've talked about before. I'm sure I'll talk about it on the podcast when it's closer to when it comes out.
Oh, I'm sure. Let's see. We have my recording kind of stopped for a minute, but we're back. Super Mario Party version 1.1.0 update now available and adds online multiplayer. This is by Sal Romano for Gematsu. Nintendo has released a new update for Super Mario Party that adds online multiplayer support, including Mario Party board game mode and 70 mini-games. And you can get the full breakdown of the patch notes and the trailer if you click on the article. So this is good. Kind of a little late, but it's good nonetheless. It's probably that they won't be bringing out a new Mario Party game anytime soon, so adding this will just give the game a bit more longevity, especially now that a lot of people are staying inside and self-quarantining, so this is a good step forward. More of this, please, Nintendo, more of this. Quicker.
Well,
yeah.
Hopefully they can
it's
update
probably
stuff.
that this was already in the on the docket, but maybe due to COVID, yeah. So.
But then got delayed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it might have been already late, and then it's just like, well. All right, next story. Monster Hunter Stories 2 GameStop and EB Games Collector's Editions revealed. This is by Kazuma Hashimoto for Silicon Era. The GameStop and EB Games exclusive Monster Hunter Stories 2 Collector's Editions have been revealed. These exclusive bundles will include a unique amiibo, sticker pack, and special pin. Other content includes a deluxe kit DLC pack, which will come with more than a handful of layered armor and costumes. Naturally, all of this comes bundled with the game. The Monster Hunter Stories 2 Collector's Edition will be available to purchase at GameStop for consumers in the United States and EB Games for Canadian consumers. So, I finally was able to pre-order it. I had been checking every day, and it was finally up. That was yesterday, right? Yeah, I think yesterday it finally went up. Now, the two, the amiibo, the Ratha amiibo by itself and the two additional amiibo that you have to purchase separately are not up yet as of
recording
earlier today.
Okay. It's a bummer.
But that happened with the other amiibo too, where they weren't up until a little later.
Well, at least you're getting it. I have to fight scalpers and eBay just to get this. So there's that.
Yeah.
There was
let's write to Capcom and Monster Hunter and be like, hey, can you send this?
Yeah. I mean, I'll review it on stream. I'll even wear a costume if you want me to.
A costume?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the cosmetic DLC includes a Puke Puke and Ner Gigante costume set for Naviru, while the Hunter will receive a spiky Nurgle hairstyle. The layered armor includes a Raisewing armor alpha and beta set. Additionally, Aina will receive a Kuen coat as DLC attire. A total of 10 stickers will be part of the sticker pack, with 5 stickers already revealed. Yeah. More stickers. I still don't know what to do with half of the ones I got from...
I don't know. Put them on your new Xbox and PlayStation.
The last one. Yeah, I'm gonna put the stickers on the console I don't play Monster Hunter.
Yeah, exactly.
I put 2 on my work or on my travel laptop, but since there's no traveling right now, well, because I just have a bunch of stickers on there anyway, so I'm like, yeah, I'll put those there. Yeah, so that's up. And then we got Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin 3rd trailer and screenshot. This is by Sarumato for Gematsu. We get the first details on the turn-based battle system finally. And the big thing is it looks pretty much the same as the last as the first game.
Yeah, I think it's a bit more complex because it looks like you have like 2 human characters and perhaps
that I don't know if you always have 2.
I think they'll probably switch out depending on the story.
Yeah. since online co-op is
So
a
I'm
feature.
wondering if it's just limited to those 2 human characters, or if you can also bring your monsties into battle and have a party of 4.
Yeah, I wonder. While the 3 attack types of power, speed, and technical return from Monster Hunter Stories, aspiring monster riders must also master using the correct weapon type, element, and skills to overcome imposing threats. By learning the fighting style of individual monsters, players can counter incoming attacks by selecting the correct attack type. Additionally, they can stop enemy monsters in their tracks by targeting and breaking specific body parts. I think the body part thing is new. I don't think you could do that in the first one.
No, I haven't seen that. It's more straightforward. Well, when you finish a battle, you do get like rewards in the.
Yeah, but you couldn't target.
Yeah, no, you couldn't target parts. No,
like that. So that's new, but it's just adding more Monster Hunter to the other Monster Hunter,
which is
game.
good.
Yeah, and then you'll have the double attacks and the kinship attacks like the last one. It's great. Looks great. We got in the trailer you get a preview of the and the screenshots you get a preview of the UI, which also looks good. Still my most anticipated game. I don't know if anything could change that at this point.
I wish there was a deluxe version with an art book and a soundtrack.
Yes. So there is an art book for the first game, but it's tiny.
Like no.
One of those tiny ones.
Like I like the art enough.
And I think it only came with the European.
I like the art
edition.
enough, but the art for the second one is really speaking to me. It really feels like kind of a high quality animated movie, and I really wish it was a thing.
You know what? We could get a bigger art book for this one, given that Monster Hunter has been killing it with the art books lately.
Yeah. So
although it might take a while to get an English version because we don't have an English version of the Iceborne art book.
I don't
yet.
care. If it's art and pretty, I'll look at it. Just give it to me.
Oh yeah, I'd get it. You know how much I love creature design
Capcom
stuff.
PR, if you're listening, help us out.
Yeah. And my last story until Jason takes over for a bit is Monster Hunter Rise version 2.0 update launches April 28th. Oh, well, we're talking about
yeah, that was yesterday.
But we didn't talk about the detail. We didn't talk about the details.
True.
Hunter rank cap will be raised when certain conditions are met. New monsters will start intruding on some quests. Added elements after raising the Hunter rank cap. New monsters will appear in Village and Hub quests. New monsters will appear in the Rampage. New quest, arena quest, and request will be available. New weapon trees, armor, items, and pedalaces will be available. New skills and Rampage skills will be available. Armor upgrade level cap will be raised. New decorations. New layered armor. Oh, layered armor will be available to forge at the smithy. I need to figure out how to get that new layered armor.
Yeah, the menus.
New layered armor for your pets.
The menus
as well.
are so dense that you can quickly get lost in all of the details.
Yeah. Palico and Palamute level cap raised to level 50. Added system element. New guild card awards. Will be able to change your hunter's appearance from the character select menu using a character edit voucher. You get one character edit voucher for free, and every additional one costs $3. Character edit vouchers can be purchased from Nintendo eShop. New DLC can be purchased from there's a lot of there's just a bunch of bug fixes. Kezu? Yeah, fix a bug causing Kezu to behave unnaturally after moving from the ceiling.
Thank the maker. Because that was so annoying.
And then fix a bug that would prevent quests to slay a Kezu from being completed if the player slays it in a specific location.
Because if he if he went to the cave and jumped on the ceiling and then did his dive bomb, he would get stuck in the geometry and then eventually just fade from existence, and you fail your mission. It's like so annoying.
Yeah, they fixed a lot of bugs.
Keep them coming, Capcom.
And then version 3. And then next title update, version 3.0 is due out at the end of May, and will add an additional story chapter set after the ending, as well as several new monsters. Come on, Gammoth. Oh, that's the other thing. Monster Hunter Stories. Gammoth confirmed for Monster Hunter Stories 2, so I can have my favorite monster.
Well, I'm so happy for you. I mean, I don't have a favorite monster yet, so I'm happy that you.
It's gonna be the
So far,
I couldn't think of anything
the
funny.
Palico is my
Ketchawacha.
favorite thing from Monster Hunter.
Oh, so Naviru?
Yeah, no, not Naviru.
I mean, that's the closest thing in stories.
Just a general Palico.
I guess there's no real cat monster.
I don't think. I mean, they could do that, but
like there's stuff that's closer to wolves, and
I mean,
Nargacuga, I guess, is like a panther.
Yeah, I mean,
that's like it's not really a cat.
They could do a big cat thing, but it would.
Oh, you know what? Barrier.
Yeah, there's that.
Barrier.
But
that's a saber-tooth. That's a flying saber-tooth tiger. Oh, and Teostra. Those are the only two.
It might freak out your Palico too much that he'll like, okay, you know what? No, I'm not fighting that.
We're cousins.
Next.
No, I'm wrong. There's Barrier, and there's Teostra and Lunastra, and that's the saber-tooth cat and some lions.
Okay.
Some big flying lions.
There's enough. Next up is Monster Hunter Rise shipments and digital sales top 6 million. This is by Sal Romano for Gematsu. Total shipments and digital sales from Monster Hunter Rise have surpassed 6 million units worldwide, Capcom announced. Monster Hunter Rise launched for Switch on March 26th worldwide and surpassed 4 million shipments and digital sales on March 29th and 5 million units on April 4th. A PC version is planned for release in early 2022. For comparison, Monster Hunter World launched for PS4 worldwide and Xbox One in North America and Europe only on January 26, 2018 and surpassed 5 million shipments and digital sales on January 29th and 6 million units on February 9th. So this is great news for Capcom sales-wise, and it's really cool that despite just
I'm gonna go get some water real quick. Keep going.
Despite being only on Switch and selling so much, is proof that Capcom made a wise choice of supporting Nintendo, and fans have responded in kind. So keep them coming. Next up, we have Persona 5 Strikers shipments and digital sales top 1.3 million. This is by Sal Romano for Gematsu. Total shipments and digital sales for Persona 5 Strikers have surpassed 1.3 million units worldwide, Atlas announced. Persona 5 Strikers first launched for PS4 and Switch on February 20th, 2020, in Japan, and June 18th, 2020 in Asia, followed by PS4, Switch, and PC via Steam on February 23rd, 2021. Okay, big breaths. The digital PlayStation 4 and Switch versions will be available at a 35% off discount price of 6,292 yen in Japan as part of the PS Store and Nintendo eShop's Golden Week sale until May 12th and May 9th, respectively. I think you can get it for about $40 on the eShop. I haven't.
I still need to get back to it.
I haven't seen it on sale on the PSN store in the West yet, but if you have PC, it's on sale on Fanatical, which is kind of a Steam reseller. And they usually have good discounts, and I think you can get it for about $40, the standard edition. Surprisingly, it didn't sell as much as I thought it would. 1.3 million is nothing to sneeze at, but compared to, I think the last update for Hyrule Warriors 2 was that 3-point-something million, and that's just on the Switch. And this is 1.3 million on 3 consoles or 3 platforms, so kind of surprising. But then again, it is Zelda versus a slightly niche RPG series. I mean,
it's a little less niche than it was.
It's less niche, but it's still niche enough to consider that it's not like on terms of Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest.
Yeah. Well, I'd say in the West, Persona is probably more popular than Dragon Quest still. Probably. For now.
It's I think it's tied or almost tied with the Tales series for the number 3 spot in terms of JRPG sales. But then again, everything pales in comparison to Pokemon, so what do I know? The king of JRPGs. Next up is Nioh 2 shipments and digital sales top 2 million. Nioh series tops 5 million. This is by Sal Romano from Gematsu. Total worldwide shipments and digital sales for Nioh 2 have surpassed 2 million units, and total shipments for the Nioh series have surpassed 5 million units, publisher Koei Tecmo and developer Team Ninja announced. Nioh first launched for PS4 in February 2017, followed by PC via Steam in November 2017. Nioh 2 first launched for PS4 in March 2020, followed by PC via Steam in February 2021. A Nioh collection including remastered versions of both games launched for PS5 in February 2021. You can get the the standard disc edition of Nioh 2 for $10 on Amazon right now. So
yeah,
that's a
really good price.
Really, really good price. Like ridiculously good.
Yeah, I mean, given I got the whatever, not collector's edition. Was it the deluxe edition? Deluxe. Whatever. I got like the deluxe steelbook edition for like $40, like back in November or December, which is also pretty good. I have not played much of it yet. I will at some point. I'm just glad to have it, honestly.
I
because people were talking about that game.
I also have Nioh 1 in my library, and I haven't touched it a lot. So
it's on PlayStation Plus, or it was on PlayStation Plus. So if you put it in your library, you can download it. Otherwise,
I had it on my console, and then the console died, so that's kind of where I gave up. So
it's also on PC.
Yes,
isn't
it's
it?
also on PC.
The first one,
both of them,
and the second one, second one did come out on PC now. Yeah.
Next up is PlayStation shatters industry sale records for
Oh, no. One more thing before I forget. Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt. But our friend Von Hyde has been streaming Nioh every weekend around like 10 p.m. Pacific time. 9 p.m. Pacific time about. And he's been going through that. So that's been fun. I come in and tell him to get good.
I think he always appreciates that bit of advice.
I'm just fooling around because he'll be doing something that has that's not even combat related. He'll just be like looking at items or something.
I mean, in all fairness, it has enough RPG elements.
We just mess around in there,
like get lost in. So
yeah,
I don't blame him.
There was a really cool boss he was fighting. It was a frog with a sword and a pipe. It reminded me of
Gamabunta.
Gamabunta.
Or Gamakichi. I mean, you have a lot of them.
No, not Gamatatsu. Not that one.
There will be no Gamatatsu slander in this house.
Gamabunta and grown up Gamakichi, yes. And then that one, my favorite one, which is the one that looks different from all the other ones, that has the swords, the two swords. I don't know if that one has a name, but
probably
it was cool.
Next up, we have PlayStation shatters industry sale records for
Gamma Leonardo
for financial year 2020. Over 7.8 million PS5 consoles sold by Liana Rupert for Game Informer. Well, one wasn't sold to me, so yes, I'm still salty and petty. PlayStation has had its best year ever, according to the recently revealed fiscal year 2020 consolidated financial results that went public the morning of April 28th, 2021. Real quick, who announces a restock drop that early in the morning? Come on.
That's just how things are done now, I guess.
That's just so mean. With nearly a universal increase across the board, Team Blue had a successful 2020 and an even more successful start to 2021, with over 7.8 million PS5 consoles sold, even with supply issues. In recent financial documents, it is revealed that PlayStation has peaked at its highest revenue to date during financial year 2020, reporting in just over 25.04 billion in revenue. This shatters the previous industry record in place, including Sony's own high of 20.8 billion. Yeah. This yearly report also boasts that Q4 was a magical time for Team Blue, reporting in an all-time high on 6.24 billion for that period, making a plus 32.6% jump from its previous Q4 reported data. Okay, if you want to click on the article, Liana has a lovely breakdown of even more stats. If I'm not mistaken, in the same breadth of time comparatively to the PS4, the PS5 has sold more. I might be mistaken, but there you go. Next up, we have Sony to aggressively invest in first-party studios and third-party exclusives. This is by Joe Scrabbles for IGN. Sony will aggressively invest in its first-party studios in the next year, as well as creating more partnerships with third-party studios, and it's throwing a lot of money behind the plan. Speaking during today's Sony earnings call, Sony CFO Hiroki Totoki, that name just rhymes, explained that the company wants to enhance its exclusive offerings and will do so in two ways. To quote, "We intend to continue investing in partnering with external studios in addition to aggressively investing in our in-house studios." So basically, business as usual. But people were kind of worried that Sony was kind of standing still in comparison to Microsoft being super aggressive recently with acquisitions. But, you know, they are still in the game. Next up is PS5 is the most popular console to develop for, survey suggests. This is by Matt Perslow for IGN. A new report from Game Developer Conference GDC has suggested that the PS5 is the most popular console to develop for, while PC remains the most popular platform with developers overall. GDC's 2021 State of the Game Industry report is based on a survey of over 3,000 game industry professionals. Of the people polled, 44% said they were most interested in the PlayStation 5 from a developer perspective. That positions it as the most popular console in the survey, ahead of the Nintendo Switch, 38%, the Xbox Series X and S, 30%, and it's also ahead of the VR platforms at 27%.
Wait, was this a... Hold on, I didn't... was this like an international survey?
GDC, like, I'm guessing anyone that has like a membership to the Game Developers Conference.
Oh, that might be a smaller sample size. Yeah, that might not be as big as a sample size.
3,000 game industry professionals. That's a large.
Right. That is a
sample size. Like,
I'm just wondering the breakdown of developers and where they're from, because I want to see how many Japanese developers would say. But I do remember people saying the PS5 before was easiest to develop for.
That could be. I mean, there's a link to the industry report, so if you want to click on that, you can find a breakdown of where they're from, I'm sure. But yeah, I think it doesn't surprise me that much. PS5 is kind of the hot topic this season in terms of tech. But the Nintendo Switch is also very good because the portability just can't be beat. And Xbox has been steadily gaining ground thanks to like competitive pricing and Game Pass. And VR is still kind of an underdog at this point, but it's still impressive nonetheless. So yeah.
Tell you, once we get those two things I always talk about that need VR things, then maybe you'll see some sales skyrocket.
Sword Art Online.
No, not that. Anything but that.
Hey, don't knock it until you try it. I mean, IBM is working on a Sword Art Online thing.
Well, then I'm gonna stay far away from VR for as long as possible.
Kind of scares me, but. Hey, I'm up to try it.
Now it was .hack.
We'll see. I mean, .hack is kind of darker overall in terms of storytelling.
Yes. Good.
I'll stick with
just how I want it.
Sword Art Online.
Or maybe the build fighters, the newest one, the VR one, which is the newest one.
That could be cool too. Next up, we have Microsoft Gaming.
Or Dragon Drive. That'll never happen.
There's that. Microsoft's gaming revenue shoots up 50%. This is by Wesley Yinpool for Eurogamer. Microsoft announced the results for the third quarter of its 2021 financial year, and gaming is booming. For the quarter ended March 31st, 2021. 2021, gaming revenue increased 50%. Microsoft said it's seeing record engagement and strong monetization across our platform. As for the Xbox Series X and S, it's a lot of things to say, which launched in November. Microsoft saw demand that significantly exceeded supply. Microsoft did not reveal a sales figure for either console. And I can attest to that because neither console was available for a very long time, even the S. And people were like, oh.
Yeah, I got very
People
lucky.
were like, oh, who wants an S? No one wants an S. And yet it was sold out. So who's laughing now? Xbox hardware revenue grew 232% in the quarter. That's a lot, which you'd expect compared to the same quarter last year, which was the time when most were holding off on buying new consoles in anticipation of the release of the Xbox Series X and S. So yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
Next is E3 2021 host Greg Miller, Jackie Jing, and Alex Golden Boy Mendez announced. I was reading like a forum and there were some people who were like, I have no idea who any of these people are and I feel old. And I'm like, there's only one person on this list who I don't know, and that's only because they're in esports.
You don't know Golden Boy? I mean, he had a gaming competition with The Rock.
Never heard of him until the other day.
Wow.
This is by Steve Watts for GameSpot. The ESA has announced this year's host for the all-digital E3. The 4-day broadcast will feature video game personalities Greg Miller, Jackie Jing, and Alex Golden Boy Mendez as the MCs for the event this June. Miller is the co-founder of Kinda Funny, with experience in video and podcast production across video games, film, TV, and comics. Jing is an Emmy-nominated journalist and host of shows across IGN. She used to be at IGN, but Nerdist, Funimation, and Anime News Network. Mendez is a well-known esports commentator who has hosted shows following games like Fortnite, Halo, and Overwatch. Hosting duties will be different than usual this year since the show is shifting to an all-digital format due to the continuing crowd restrictions due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Instead of large in-person show at the Los Angeles Convention Center, E3 2021 will instead take place online as a series of media events. The show will take place Saturday, June 12th through Tuesday, June 15th. ESA has said it plans to bring back E3 back as a physical event once circumstances allow, presumably in 2022, and I'm hoping I can go again by that point. Who knows where this podcast will be, or if it won't exist anymore. Hopefully it's still going.
Hey.
The organization had floated ideas to produce a digital E3 in 2020 when the pandemic first hit, but ultimately scuttled those plans. Several publishers produced their own showcases, though it was more diffuse throughout the entire summer. Yeah. Yeah. Go check out, you know who, if you listen to this podcast, you probably know who Greg Miller is. He's a good dude. I've met him a few times. Jackie's great. Jackie, I think really deserves a bigger following. She's on Twitch kind of late at night usually, but she plays a lot of anime games and sometimes just chills. She was playing Dragon Ball Z Kakarot the other night. She plays a lot of Rainbow Six Siege. Is that the one that people play?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. She's hosted like esports events for it too. So yeah, make sure to go follow her on Twitch.
I think Jackie
and again Golden Boy I don't know, but Jackie
is a good fit. She has a great presenting style, and Greg Miller is Greg Miller. That he needs no introduction.
She's very good at. She's a very experienced celebrity interviewer too.
Golden Boy is steadily rising in the game of esports and other video presentations. So he is also a great fit. He would be excellent at commenting on what goes on. So I mean, this is like an excellent group of people.
I wonder if they're hosting like together, or they're like each hosting a different thing, or like how they're gonna do it, or if they're just gonna be in between things or something. I'm curious.
I guess we'll find out soon enough in a few months.
Yeah, soon enough. It's coming up fast. Next story is Ni no Kuni Cross World story trailer. Story of Two Worlds. Saruman for Gematsu. Level 5 and Netmarble have released a new story trailer for Ni no Kuni Cross World. Pre-registration is currently available for iOS via the App Store and Android via Google Play in Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan, as well as via the official website. A release date has yet to be announced, but the App Store lists it due out on June 30th. Have you seen the trailer for this game?
Yes. Well, like gameplay, more like.
What?
I saw gameplay for this game, like a gameplay trailer.
I did not see. Okay, so the trailer on here I don't think has gameplay. Or does it? Wait, maybe it does.
Or it could be this trailer you're mentioning now.
It seems to show mostly story bits, but I mean, yeah, it's a mobile game, but it looks good. And if it gets localized, I may try it.
I hope it gets localized, because more Ni no Kuni can't be a bad thing unless it's the movie. But yeah,
that movie wasn't the worst. It was disappointing. It wasn't the
best. Let's just leave it at that. And then level 5, with all that. I mean, rumor.
But it's also being developed by Netmarble.
Rumor has it that there might be some interesting developments regarding level 5, but
yeah, I saw something about that from an accredited leaker on.
So stay tuned, I guess.
Social media. Yeah, they didn't elaborate on that, so yeah. I guess we'll see. Yeah.
Maybe someone made a attempt to acquire them? ?
Yeah, maybe.
Who knows?
All right, and the last story before our main topic.
It's Naruto to Boruto, Shinobi Striker Season Pass 4 and free light version announced. This is by Jenny Lada for Silicon Era. Naruto to Boruto, I think in Japanese that would kind of transliterate to Naruto and Boruto. But I digress.
We really should have somebody who actually knows Japanese on this podcast.
I'll look it up, don't worry. Launched back in August 2018, and Bandai Namco announced its intention to continue supporting the game. New DLC and an upgraded demo are on the way. Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Striker Season Pass 4 characters will begin appearing in 2021. The light version of the game will appear in spring 2021. So yeah, it's surprising that this game has such a long tail, but people are finding enjoyment in it, and I'm happy they do. So there you go.
I'm gonna try that light version once it comes out, because I had fun with the beta way back.
I have the full version that I got for free. I think I was watching the Bandai Namco stream last year. So, I mean...
Oh, the stream we didn't like, and then you somehow got a free game out of it?
Might as well try it now, then.
Yeah. So, that leads into our topic, because Shinobi Striker is on sale for Golden Week.
Yep.
At least on Steam it is. I don't know about the other platforms.
Let me check for you. I'm assuming... I'll look it up. Keep going.
Okay, so there are a lot of games. EDF games are on sale. If you want to fight giant bugs, get EDF games. I believe Monster Hunter as well.
Monster Hunter World, yes.
Yes, Monster Hunter World, not Rise. Dragon's Dogma, Dark Arisen is on sale on Steam.
Yeah.
for like $9.
You have a good collection of Bandai Namco games on the eShop. You have
Some Tales
games on Steam. You have Final Fantasy games pretty much everywhere. Steam, PSN.
World of Final Fantasy is on sale pretty much everywhere.
So with me getting an Xbox Series S tomorrow or soonish, what would you recommend?
Well, there's a recently released game that's on sale right now for $40.19.
And that would be?
Called Balan Wonderworld.
Get out. Get out.
And it's on sale for $40.19 everywhere.
It's still too high.
It's still too high. Will $20 be too high?
I'll consider it if I get it free on a stream by Bandai Namco or Square Enix.
Or by Square Enix. Yeah. I don't think they're going to be wanting to give those away.
I mean, they got to make their money back somehow.
That wouldn't be making their money. They're giving it away for free.
It's better than just letting it rot on shelves.
Also, Ultimate Ninja Storm Collection, I believe, is on sale.
I've played them all, so...
I know it's on sale on Xbox. I don't know where else.
It's also on sale on PSN and on eShop, if I'm not mistaken.
Also, Zero Escape, the best visual novel series ever made, is on sale on Steam. Play Zero Escape.
Oh, the Danganronpa series is also on sale on Steam and PSN.
Yeah, the second best visual novel series. Well, is it really a visual novel?
It is a visual novel slash battle royale game, if you want to call it
battle royale.
It is a battle royale game.
Ace Attorney. Ace Attorney Battle Royale, essentially.
Yeah, basically. Battle Royale in terms of...
Honestly, that's how people should pitch Danganronpa. It's like, I don't know, it looks kind of weird. Do you like Ace Attorney? Yeah, it's Ace Attorney Battle Royale.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
They'd be like, what?
Also, Nihon Falcom has a sale on Steam.
Yeah.
So I think I'll be getting Trails of Cold Steel 2 and...
Our buddy Sean Chiplock,
yeah.
voices the main character in those games. He has a great performance. I haven't played those games that much. I've only played a little of the demo, but
he's been solid so far.
Always on point.
He's been solid so far.
Yeah.
I think I'm on chapter 3, which is kind of like halfway point of the game, and he's been a very good voice actor so far.
Yeah.
Let's see.
He gave what was it? He was playing. He was playing Trails of Cold Steel 4, and he gave one of the girls in the party a Kermit the Frog voice because he was like voicing all the characters, and I was just like, "What is going on?"
I mean, that's one way to inject some fun in it.
Yeah.
Let's see. The Disgaea games are also on sale pretty much everywhere, which I tried and I cannot for the life of me get into them.
Go follow. If you have Twitter and you don't follow Wario64 already.
Yeah, he pretty much does deals 24/7, so he's your best resource to get the best scoops and whatnot.
Did you see those like Ni no Kuni on Amazon being $5 every once in a while? Ni no Kuni remastered for PS4. I always just miss it.
I mean, if I didn't own both Ni no Kuni games on Steam, I would jump at the chance of getting it because
I just want a physical version of Level 5 game. I used to have the PS3 version, but I don't have a PS3.
The thing is, Ni no Kuni, or with Level 5 no longer being in the West, chances are Ni no Kuni will become one of those rare games.
It's not that expensive right now. It's still like $20.
Yeah.
But I'd rather get it for $5, you know. Oh, hey, Zoids Wild Blast Unleashed on Switch is $10 at Best Buy.
There is that.
I still need to finish that one.
Oh, Persona Strikers is also on sale on eShop for $41.
Yeah.
So I might do that if I'm feeling lucky, because I'm pretty much done with Monster Hunter, and the next game I'm looking forward to is the Famicom Detective game on Switch.
Yeah. Persona 4 Golden is on sale for $13.99, and also like nearly all the Atlas games on 3DS are on sale right now.
I wish I had a 3DS because I really want Radiant Historia.
That's I don't know about Radiant.
Yeah, it's
Historia,
on sale.
The Shin Megami Tensei related ones definitely are. So like Devil Survivor Overclocked, Soul Hackers, Shin Megami Tensei 4. I think Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse, the Persona Q games, and whatever other... Strange Journey Redux.
Yeah, Radiant Historia is kind of hailed as one of the best JRPGs of late. Being like stuck on 3DS kind of sucks, because now I'll never be able to play it, probably, with the prices of the 3DS skyrocketing on places like eBay and Amazon. So who knows?
And the Yakuza games are pretty much on all of these sales.
Yeah.
You're gonna want to look for some of these games. You're gonna want to look because there are some price differences depending on platform. They're not like huge price differences, but if you want to get the biggest discount, you're gonna have to look at all of them, depending on what platforms you have on.
Yeah, it's also if you have Game Pass, you pretty much have all the Yakuza games except for 7. So
there's actually a Team Zero Escape bundle on Steam, which includes Zero Escape the Nonary games, Zero Escape Zero Time Dilemma, and the Somnium Files, all for about $40.
Yeah.
I have not finished the Somnium Files yet, but from what I've played, it's pretty good.
I still have to actively start the second one. Not that it's...
The second Zero?
Yeah, it's not that it's bad. It's just I was kind of burned out after having finished the first game, so I immediately jumped into the second one. I'm like, okay, maybe this is enough death and murder, and
you definitely need to take a break to take in 999 before. Speaking of Sean Chiplock and Atlas, all the Etrian Odyssey games on the eShop are also on sale. And if you listen to my interview with Sean Chiplock, he is a huge fan of those games.
Yeah, Etrian Odyssey is an excellent series. It's very old school dungeon crawly RPG, so
yeah, it's not really my thing.
Prepare yourself.
To each their own.
It's also not going to be the easiest game to get into in terms of battle difficulty.
Remember, Collection of Saga is discounted, has a $3 discount on Switch.
Yeah. Trials of Mana, I should say. It's also on sale.
I believe you mean Trials of Mana.
Oh dear Lord. Every time I hear the English dub, I want to throw out my PC.
It's only her. Everyone else is fine.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure the voice actress did her best. But come on.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't know. It might have been the voice director. We don't know.
I don't want.
It was like, hey, sound like a baby.
I don't want to give anyone the blame, but that voice is just not.
It came from space.
It came from space.
The decision.
So yeah, there's like plenty.
There's a lot, and it's funny because like some of my friends were like, "Hey, you looking to get anything on the Steam sale?" And I was like looking, and I'm like, dude, Nier Replicant just came out. New Pokemon Snap. I'm not even worried about not even.
Yeah.
No.
I'm busy. I'll get back to you when I'm done.
I might sit this one out.
Yeah.
Depending on, there are some really cheap.
Let me see. Is 13 Sentinels on sale? Because if so, really try to get that one. Let's see. I didn't see it on the PSN store on sale. No, it's full price. Don't attempt that. I mean, it's worth the full price, but if you can get it on sale, get it on sale. I'm not gonna stop you from doing that. But yeah, it's as usual a very excellent time to be a gamer. And
Soul Calibur 6 is like on sale everywhere.
Yeah.
If you want more Nier and 2B as a guest fighter,
it's also on Game Pass, so there's also that.
Soul Calibur 6 is on Game Pass?
Yes, it is.
Oh, also I found out that the original Soul Calibur and Soul Calibur 2 HD Online are backwards compatible on Xbox. And Soul Calibur 2 is like one of my favorite fighting games ever. So I'm definitely gonna. They're not on sale right now, but I'm definitely gonna pick that up at some point.
It's an excellent time to be a fan of Japanese games. Golden Week is one of the standard times you can count on there being massive sales. So if you're looking for an RPG or a quirky character action game, now's the time to go searching for those deals. And as we said, Wario 64 is an excellent resource for these deals. And all major companies have a good deals pages, so go explore, go have some fun finding your next gaming pick.
Yeah. There's just so much. There's so much. So don't be like, oh, like, I don't know. There are no games. There are so many games.
Maybe too many.
There are so many games. Too many games.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's plenty to play and plenty to catch up on before E3. I guess because it's gonna come up faster than we. Yeah, it's almost May right now. So and it's approaching faster and faster.
Yep. Let's see if I could just which one would I recommend? Like if I could just recommend one. That's a tough one. Okay, if you're looking for like a meaty RPG and that's fun, Tales of Vesperia. Go check to see if it's.
I heard the combat in that one is a bit.
No, the combat's fine. It's a good balance of new enough that you won't be annoyed with it.
So, I'm checking. I'm checking the iOS store, and Monster Hunter Stories is still $5.
Okay, so if
at least on the App Store.
If you only,
I don't know about Google Play because I already have it installed.
Well, if it's still on iOS,
but it should be.
If it's still on iOS for $5, it's still on the Play Store for $5. And if you only have $5 to spend,
and that's only for a limited time.
That's a good way to spend your money. So yeah, I think that's.
I don't know how long. It's probably only until next week.
Yeah.
Or in the beginning of next week.
Or when Golden Week ends. So keep your eyes on it.
I don't know if it's a Golden Week sale or what.
I'm pretty sure it is.
It might just be discounted because of the Stories 2 stuff.
Also possible.
Yeah, so I think that's it. We had like one listener question, but from Foggy, but we talked about that last week. So
yeah. I mean, it's always good to see that Sony is giving people who enjoy older games a new chance to play them. I do want to say that it's still not clarified whether the PSP games are disappearing forever or just the functionality on the PSP to buy games is disappearing.
Yeah.
So I
guess we'll see.
Have your PSN credits at the ready in case in case the games disappear. So yeah, I think that's been us for this week.
Yeah, we'll hopefully have a guest next week. We're planning a couple. Who could it be? You'll have to find out and tune in next week.
Thank you for listening. This has been Jason. Yep. This has been Erroll. Stay safe out there.
Be kind. Play video games. Check out these Golden Week sales.
Stay healthy.
There's plenty of stuff. Stay healthy. Yeah, don't play video games too much.
If you want, go watch that Mortal Kombat movie. I'm not gonna stop you.
Watch anime. Go watch Yasuke on Netflix. Go try it out.
Go watch the Demon Slayer movie. You have
well, if you can, you
have plenty of options. So
because it's in up here in the U.S., it's only in theaters.
Yeah. So check your safety guidelines if you're able to, or if you're not.
If you want to go see it, if you want to go see it in theaters. But if not, you can always wait until June 22nd.
But thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Yep, matane.